shop today, and I'm going to give you guys a, well, I wouldn't say quick, but full review of this John Deere 4105. It's a rental tractor, it's not mine, so I can't really make too many videos of it after I do this, but you guys should get a fair share of videos in. I did make a video that goes along with this, sort of using the tractor, so you guys can check that out. But this is the tractor itself. It is a 2016, I believe. At least, I don't really know where the build code on this tractor is. I think it's about, usually it's about the axle here. Yeah, there it is. Maybe somebody can tell me how old it is there. It is tri-green, unfortunately. But it's a 4105, so it's the pretty much the economy version of their largest utility tractor series. The 4000 and the 5000. The 5000 is more of an agricultural, I would say maybe row crop, versus this series is more of a compact tractor or utility type, smaller. First thing I really noticed was for the frame, it's got a pretty big engine. It's 40 some odd horsepower, I believe. It's got a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 3-cylinder Yanmar, which I honestly, let me get to the turbo side of it. I had the hood up so I can show you guys this because the hood's not easy to open. You can see this is the turbocharger. Look how small that thing is. That is a tiny little turbocharger. It's kind of cool actually, and it does make a nice little turbo sounds when it's running. No complaints from this engine. It's really strong. I did stall it once, but as you can see, Yanmar. 3-cylinder, 1.5 liter. This is pretty big for a tractor this size. Yeah, don't really have too much to say. I know the bigger ones are actually naturally aspirated. This one's turboed, which is kind of cool. I would imagine it has something to do with emissions, but not 100% sure on that. I guess keeping with the powertrain here, we'll move on to the transmission. The transmission, oddly enough, is a hydrostatic twin touch like you'd find on their lawn tractors or garden tractors. It's a twin touch automatic. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. For what I was using it for, the twin touch was great. I was working on putting in this railroad tie wall and moving it. Takes fine loader work to do that because I'm using a grapple log crane or grapple crane, whatever you want to call it, and the hydrostatic made it easy to do that. But you know, it's just I don't know how I feel about a hydrostatic this big. It had plenty of power, get up and go, but longevity might be my biggest concern with the hydrostatic in a tractor this big. I've used the shuttle shift and things like that, and I don't really think there's anything wrong with a shuttle shift. This one you still have to select a range and whatnot to choose to drive. And here's the loader. I don't have a parts number on the loader, I don't believe. I want to say, I don't know, it's pretty big. Once again, not any problems with the loader. Has a nice little quick couplers there and all. It is 4-wheel drive. So yeah. Nice machine. I do have a Frontier box scraper on the back. No complaints there either. It scrapes good, not an issue. It does have a 540 PTO. It does not have a 1000 PTO. Now I guess I'll get to the things that kind of bother me about this tractor. First thing is the loader arms, the heaviest part of the loader right here. It's big, I think cast iron, are made in China. See if I can get a, there it is. It says made in China. I mean, I would expect it, wasn't expecting it from John Deere, but I wouldn't really put it out of their minds, you know, with their quality nowadays kind of going downhill. You know, I believe the casts are made in China and the loader arms are made in Mexico, which doesn't bother me as much as China, but I mean, if you're going to spend $25,000 on a tractor, I wouldn't want one made in China, you know, especially the lift arms, like lift linkages like this that are taking the weight of a lot of, you know, whatever you have in the bucket. That's made in China is probably not the best thing for that. But if it's up to its quality, it's up to its quality. Next thing that sort of bothers me about this tractor is the plastic fenders. Yes, these are plastic. And once again, it goes with the hood. The hood is, so you can see, plastic. This is all plastic. John Deere's doing a lot of plastic now. You know, the plastic, it doesn't really come a problem until you have to replace it, and it's a small fortune. I would imagine, you know, a metal one would cost a small fortune as well, but it's not going to crack. I could honestly care less if it rusts. It doesn't, things don't rust where I live. So, you know, I'd honestly rather have this metal, but it's clearly a cost-saving thing. You know, you can see it's plastic. Nothing, no doubt about that. Both sides are. The hood is. Next thing that bothers me is this seat. It's kind of unsatisfactory for a $25,000 tractor to have a, you know, X series lawnmower seat. That's just kind of not cool. Especially, I mean, you can get an X series with armrests. This doesn't even have armrests, and the seat does not scoot up far enough to operate. That's as far as it goes. And it's just, you know, the steering wheel doesn't tilt either, so it's just kind of awkward driving position in this thing. It's kind of hard to explain. And due to the fact that it is a a lawnmower seat pretty much, still has that seat shut off. And I spent about an hour with that, and I called, I said I'm not dealing with that, and I jumped the leads on it. Literally, you know, the sensor's like up here. You cannot sit back there and drive it. I really didn't have any other option, or else it just keeps shutting off on me every time I'd move. So I jumped that. I'll put it back before I return this machine. But yeah, I mean, this tractor is pretty much brand new. So that bothers me. The fenders, this loader arm linkage. It does have this really nice front brush grill guard thing. I don't know what you want to call it. Flips down. I'd have liked to have seen it so that you could take the hood up without having to flip this down. Like I think Coyote can do that, or Massey Ferguson, one of those two. But that would have been nice. The next thing that bothers me about this tractor, and this screams, you know, lack of engineering, if anything. This hood prop here, you can see. You have to, first of all, it's a hood prop, which really bugs me. Like most of the other machines that I've used have gas struts in the back that when you pop the lift linkage, when you unlock the front hood, it just raises it up automatically. I think John Deere could have, you know, put that in for, you know, the price they expect for this tractor. But no, they have to have this flimsy rod linkage that goes up here. This flips down and clicks in down there, and the hood falls down, which doesn't seem like a bad idea in the first place. But I'm going to click it in here for a second and show you what it does. When you go to take it down, I'll see this rod is under like tension. See, it's all the way out here. That's where the rod stops naturally. You have to like either bend the rod, put it into there, or you have to bend the hood over to put it in. Really, really poor design if you ask me. You gotta like manhandle it into that hole and like shove it like that to get it in. And watch, when I push it over, I'm not gonna put any pressure on it. Pop out like that. It's under tension. Stops right there. That's kind of poor engineering if you ask me. It should either just like click in somewhere if you're going to have these linkages. Really, you should have gas struts, but I think they could have paid a little bit more attention when doing that, and you know, made it a little bit more consumer friendly, especially since you got to take the whole front guard off and whatnot to get to it. So I think that's kind of a quality control issue, that poor engineering on John Deere's part. Take that back off there. See, it clips in down there. And the hood sort of drops down like such. Man, somebody did smash the front of this. I don't know. It wasn't me. It was like that when I got it, but it's like somebody took a ball hitch to the front. But this goes up like that. It's got pins in it, but I'm not going to put the pins in just right yet to, you know, it takes a couple hands, and I'll still show you guys how this machine goes here. So the hood is latched in. You know, it's plastic. It's in. All right, let's get up to the driver station here. This thing is nice and wet. All right, the driver station, like I said, is just a really awkward you know, the controls are all in the right place, but it's a very awkward tractor to drive. You seem kind of too low and too back to drive it. I don't know, compared to other tractors I've driven. Once again, it's got a lawn like X Series tractor steering wheel on it. But I mean, it does function as it should, I guess. I mean, it gets along. The key's down here. It's just like any other John Deere key. You got the brake pedal and I guess clutch, if you consider. I would imagine there's some kind of clutch or something in this for the PTO maybe, or when shifting helps do something. Parking brake's kind of funky. It's smooth, as you can see. That locks it in place. You push it, and like that, unlatches it. Push that back in, lock it again. Over here, this is your four-wheel drive. Now, after using it a little while, it took me to I kept on forgetting whether push down was engaged or pull up was engaged, and I could see it either or really, but when it's pulled up, it's in four-wheel drive, and when it's pushed down, it's in two-wheel drive. You can tell when driving which one it's in, but it's kind of hard to forget, and sometimes it's hard to get it out of four-wheel drive. That's pretty standard for a lot of tractors. Getting in and out of four-wheel drive can be a little bit of an issue. This lever right here is your differential lock. So, you know, you're spinning your back wheels, this locks them together to aid in traction. That actually works a little better than a lot of tractors I've used. Engage is really smooth. A lot of them I've used are like really hard to push down. This one's nice and smooth to get into diff lock. Over here you have your two ranges. You have neutral, high, and low. I feel like they should have put a medium in there, because low is kind of slow, really slow for loader work. High is a little bit too high for loader work. I think a medium would have been nice for loader work, because it really, I don't know, it's hard to balance between the two and get good power out of it. Up on your dash, you got your gas gauge, your RPMs, and your engine temperature. Your left blinker, right blinker, which actually work on this one, surprisingly. Your hazards, headlights and hazards, and your work lights and front lights. As you can see, I'll let you see how many hours. It has 108.9 hours. So it's still a new tractor. Not brand new, but still new in agricultural tractor terminology. This is your Pto Engaged, just like any one of their lawn tractors would be. Don't really have any complaints about that, but if you're working behind here, I think a Pto Engaged mechanism on the side would be nice, so that way you can turn around and engage it, while you know, instead of here where you got to turn around and pull up and face backwards. It's just kind of, ergonomics are a little off on that. This joystick control for the loader is really nice. Kudos to them. This is something they did well. It fits the hand really good. Perfect. No controls, I mean, no problem with any of that. Down here is your 3-point hitch hydraulics. Lower it down and up. No problem with that. It's kind of flimsy, but I've seen that on other tractors. I don't really have an issue with that. Cup holder is way too small. Got your lights on the roll cage here. Manuals in there. And you do have a seat belt. No complaints about the seat belt. More complaints about the seat. Alright. Oh, and you do down here have a lockout for your loader, and this controls how fast your 3-point drops. And I think there'd be something right there, but there's not. I think that's it for the operator's cab, so we'll go ahead and start it up. Has to be neutral to start up. And to do the glow plugs on this tractor, you just push the key in before you start it. It doesn't automatically glow plug. You can see it's sort of idling. Sounds really good. You can hear the turbo on it. I'll stick you guys down there with it. It is a Tier 4 engine, so it's very clean burning, doesn't smoke at all. Maybe a little bit on startup. but it smells like a non-tier 4, but it's a tier 4. No DPF either, which is nice. All right, get back up here. And so give it put it in high. Release spark and brake, and pretty quick little machine. You can hear that turbo spool when it's under load. Turn these on. See the headlights. I'll get a high-speed run here. We're in high gear. Throttle it all the way up. That's as fast as she'll go. Pull us out of. Set her to low. I'll clutch in to do it. All right, now we're in low. I'll full throttle it, show you how fast it goes in low. This is full speed in low. Bucket height is pretty good. Your gas filler is up here as well, up top. Not sure if I like that either. It gets it done. Alright, we'll throw her back in neutral. I mean high. You don't really have to use the clutch to do it. It just does it. 4-wheel drive engages on the fly. There it's on. There it's off. Diff lock. Nice and easy. Locks. Good running tractor for an economy tractor. It's pretty good. 25 runs about 25, I believe, 23 to 25. I'm not sure if that's with the shuttle shift or the hydro, but I pretty much my biggest gripes were said in the video. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this review. Check out the video of it working, moving dirt and box scraping. Yeah, good little tractor. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe.